You thought you were going on a reality show to drink and hook up, but instead, you get to pretend to be parents. It's another day, which means another episode of Love Island here on AfterBuzz TV.
You're tuned in to AfterBuzz TV, the ESPN of TV talk. Now, let the buzz begin.
Welcome back to all of you there watching. Welcome if you watched Jeff and I in the Bachelor in Paradise preview. Super excited about that. But you are here, of course, to talk Love Island because of CBS. You know we are talking about Friday's episode today. I am your host, Mike Thieling. Great to see everybody already in the chat. Guys, of course, we're going to go down everything that happened this episode. We're going to do some predictions because we got a little fun stuff at the end. But I got to tell you, this was not the best episode of Love Island that they've ever produced. This was rather on the boring side, and I'd love to hear what you guys thought of it as well. We're going to go through it again as always, but, you know, wow, it just obviously took my breath away there for the introduction because there was a lot of stuff not happening this episode. Before we get into that, of course, let me introduce my second person on the panel today who is not here, but in the booth. Today we've got Jen.
Hey guys, how are you?
Jen, still, Ryan has been on camera. I mean, are you unveiling today?
Probably not yet, but maybe next one. Next one.
We only got three more. We've got three more. It's going to be fun. Guys, let's jump right into it. So first of all, at the end of Thursday's episode, of course, we got left on a cliffhanger. America, Canada, you guys watching, of course, you guys voted on which couples you guys liked the most. So we knew it came down to either Weston and Emily or Yaman and Isada was going to be voted off. And of course, Yaman and Isada get voted off. Then everybody gets real bromantic with Yaman and Isada to an extent too. They like it. But Yaman obviously was an OG. He was there from the very beginning. Lots of hugs. The music that they play, man, it's just so epic. You would think like something horrific had happened to these people instead of just the producers saying you have to leave Fiji now and go back to the US. Like, it's not a big deal, but they really treat it like it, and everybody is so sad. But again, what they don't know, right? They don't know what everybody watching and voting is actually seeing. So maybe they don't know. It's so surprising to me. They think that they're really good people. Maybe America is like, yo, this guy's been stabbing you in the back the entire time. Obviously, that's not the case, but I always find it funny at how epic they make these goodbyes. So let's just go into it. Dylan and Alexandra talk about how happy they are to survive another elimination. Ray and Caro make each other feel happy. That's fantastic. Kira tells Jared it's just a baby snore dude because she snores in bed. And we get hugs. Okay, none of this to me was interesting. Elizabeth talks to Weston and Zach about them attacking Weston. Guys, I mean, long story short, Elizabeth says that everybody looks up to Weston in the house. He makes such a big impact, and therefore his behavior has such a big impact on what everybody else is doing. What'd you guys think of this in the chat? I wasn't really buying it. I was like, you know, Weston's just another bro. He's going around having fun. He's making connections. Is she saying that because she, along with all the other women in the house, have admitted to having crushes on Weston? I guess. Really quick into the chat, Osayue, great to see you. It sucks for people to be behind an episode because of the CBS issues. Yeah, it's terrible. You know, we're going to film. So obviously, guys, we know this Wednesday is the finale. I'm going to do the after show on Thursday, and I'm just forewarning everybody because I know we got a solid crew in here that watches every single day. We're going to do no spoilers on Wednesday because when I do the after show on Wednesday, which will be Tuesday's episode, I know it's confusing, but when I am here broadcasting to you guys on Wednesday, you will already know the outcome. So we're going to do no spoilers on Wednesday so that I can get it fresh and review it for you guys on Thursday. Regardless, back into this one. It's time to go to sleep, and wouldn't you know it, everybody is just making out with each other, and we get to watch it thanks to night vision cameras and your boy Matt Hoffman narrating. This to me is just so weird. I mean, I know it's the rainy season. It's raining a lot in Fiji, but there are day beds everywhere. Why are they all sleeping in the same room when they're just going to hook up? You might as well go find your own private life. I mean, can't they at this point? Look, these people have been bored 24/7. It's ridiculous how bored these people look. At this point, you would have thought one of them would have picked the lock on the hideaway and just started sleeping in there and having private time. Or like bargain with the producers to let one couple every day go into the hideaway. They have this mansion. They have the hideaway. They've used it 3 times, but we've been watching for over a month. Like, this is episode 19. They've been here over a month now, and they've only used that little shack 3 times. What a waste. I just feel like there's so much more stuff they could be doing, and I don't understand why they're not. It really, really perplexes me. Okay. So all we're making out, okay. And then, of course, woo, everybody wakes up. Surprise text in the middle of the morning or early morning. We're going to do the baby parent simulation. Man, was this a snore fest for me. Guys, I like this show. Just this episode I was watching, and I kept saying to myself, what is happening? Like, nothing is going on. So, okay, you go on a reality dating show, which already has connotations. And then they're like, yo, there's a 2-drink maximum, so you're not really going to get ripped up. And then we're going to do competitions, but they're not going to mean anything. And you see all these hot people that you're interested, and you connect with them, and then you've known each other for like a week and a half, and you guys are going to pretend to be parents. Is there little wonder why Zach was like not having this challenge? Because again, there was no benefit for doing good or anything like that, nor do I think, I mean, Jen, you tell me, you've seen these fake baby, like the dolls, like the realistic baby dolls on reality shows before, right? Where it's like, learn to be a dad, and you take the fake baby doll, right?
Right. Mm-hmm.
Is that in any way analogous to actually having a kid? There's no way.
No way, not whatsoever. It doesn't matter if it's, making cry sounds that, there's some that have like that effect of like pooping and peeing. No, no way, nothing the real thing.
It's got nothing to do with it. And to actually, I mean, we're going to go through it, right? But some of these the couples, the two of them get into fights over taking care of the baby. It's not a real baby. Zach puts a pillow over it because the machine is crying and won't stop. It's not a real baby. I was so bored with this whole thing. All right, let's go. So we find out. Oh, I made a note. Yeah, this is definitely not the reality show I signed up for. Caro always wanted to have a baby, she says, and now she has one. No, you don't. No, you don't. You have younger looking big Barbie. That's it. It's just it's a computer in there that's programmed to do stuff. You do not have a baby. No. Emily names her baby Cyrus because that is her number one name that she would like to name a son if she has one, which I found weird. Why don't you save the real baby name for your actual baby instead of having a kid later and him finding out that you named this prosthetic fetus his name? That to me was so weird to do this. And then the fact that like Caro and Ray named their kid Quest, that was, why don't you just name it Challenge? Because that's really what it is, right? And then who was it? Oh, Zach and Elizabeth's baby never shuts up. It's constantly crying and carrying on, like they malfunctioned the program or something like that. All the babies are set to cry. People are getting frustrated with each other. Weston and Emily are fighting over the fake baby. And who was it? Why can I not remember? It was Weston. Exactly. It was Weston and Emily. Weston wanted to name the thing Bruce Wayne or like something fun. Guys, it's not a real baby. Calm down. You don't have to pick the perfect baby name. What are you guys telling me in the chat right here? Mike, think she will. I think she will what? Osayue says it was funny because some of the contestants were taking it too seriously. Yeah, it was so dumb. Amy says, why didn't he just take out the batteries? Production was probably like, look, guys, just go with this. Or they like super glued the thing shut or something like that. I mean, we've got years. I mean, I'm talking decades of real world versus road rules challenge, of then the challenge, then Bachelor in Paradise, Paradise Hotel. I mean, Survivor. There's an upteen number of shows that could be drawn upon to make fun, interesting challenges and stuff for these people to do with literal outcomes. You guys had amazing suggestions the last time we ranted about this, from, getting to go in the hideaway to getting to pick first in the recoupling. It goes on and on and on, right? There's tons of opportunity. Why are we farting around with these fake babies that just cry? What is interesting about this? Okay, calm down, Mike. Too much ranting. Chill out. So, text, surprise, the girls have just had such a rough time through pregnancy and childbirth of their fake fetuses, evidently, that they get to go and have lunch and drinks out at a bar. And I guess the show decided it was going to be funny to leave the dudes there with these fake babies, but it just wasn't. It was just, bleh. They did their little dad Olympics or whatever they called it, dad cathlon, and they changed the baby and they ran around the thing. I guess they're making the best out of a really weird, awkward, and unnecessary situation because it didn't make any sense. So I also found it weird that the girls and guys were either happy or sad to find out what gender their baby got. Like, it's not real, guys. Like, who cares? So ridiculous. Rohan
Mike,
said the baby.
I just think that they're really, really bored. So they're like, in their head, it's just like, let me make this fun.
I
so
guess.
they're just going crazy and like, let me just make this baby come back. And I don't know, make it fun, make it a game or something, because they're that bored.
I mean, that's a great observation. You got to be absolutely right, because there's no other explanation to be so excited. Roheda says the baby thing was hilarious. Osayue says the couples are going to regret this episode once they have actual kids and they see it back on YouTube. And Ro again says, plus the baby thing brought Ray and Caro together. That's an interesting observation. I think Ray and Caro were pretty good regardless. And yes, it was cool to see the thing with the baby, but the fake doll, I think Ray and Caro probably could have just had that conversation outside. And I think they actually did. I want a big family. Family's important to me. I think they already said how many kids they want or something like that. And look, how you treat this fake doll does not have a very good correlation with how good you will be as an actual father in real life when you don't get to put it away, after a few hours, or you can just leave it there and go away and do something and it doesn't really matter because there is no consequences when you actually have to feed it and things like that, which is really funny when all of a sudden Ray actually brought up the exact point that I'm making. He said, wow, this is really hard with the doll. Imagine a real living kid. Yeah, exactly. This has nothing to do with an actual kid. You are not prepared just yet. Rebecca says Zach and Weston dropped the baby was horrible. Yeah, because they're not taking it serious. And again, just to Jen's point, it's showing how bored these people are and what they have to do. Kira calls Jared a great friend to the other girls because that's not a love connection. We know she just connected with him because he was the lesser of two evils and it's just what she was going with. She 100% from the minute she picked Eric over Cash, regretted her time in the villa. I guarantee it. She let that dude Cash go. She knew immediately that was a mistake. We find out more about it later in the episode and in the sneak peek for tonight. You guys have already seen the episode today probably. We know she regretted that right off the bat. So she's not having a great time. Obviously, she's not connecting with Jared. And her mind is so much on Cashel that she's not going to give Jared the time of day anyway. Jared needs to recouple as soon as he possibly can. That's a big side. But, we might as well do asides right now because nothing else happened in the episode. Meg, so good to see you. Meg Blue Shift Eyes is in the house. What's up? What's up? Okay, so again, the girls went to their lunch. The guys did the dad cathlon. No one really cares. And then one of Matt's best drops, the Spice Girls returned to the villa because it really did look like the group walking back into the house, did it? Zach dropped the baby on its head. Look at all the scuff marks. Yeah, again, not real. Doesn't matter. They get a text message saying that the insanity is over. We don't have to mess around with fake babies anymore. And because, okay, Caro and Ray win, and Wes, all the other people did fine, and then Weston and Emily, Zach and Elizabeth fail. They didn't do a good enough job with their fake baby. Amy says this episode was boring like that Bachelorette filler episode. I would venture that this episode was worse, to be honest. At least the Bachelorette filler episode, I thought that episode was funnier. I don't know. I thought this was worse, personally. You guys tell me what you thought. Obsessed Fangirl says, just had to say LMAO. Why'd they play the Roswell theme? Yeah, exactly. Why'd they play the Roswell theme song? Rebecca says the Hideaway needs to be used much, much more. Absolutely. Okay, so because more than half of them did okay with their fake baby analog that doesn't mean anything, means they get to have a party tonight. Guys, I believe the nighttime is the only time they're allowed to drink their 2 drinks anyway. Isn't every night basically a party if they're allowed to have some music? I was like, what is the big deal? Okay, so if that's true, and finally the show has given us a reward for a challenge to the new, it's going to be epic, right? I mean, there's going to be a live band, right? They're going to say, forget it. You guys can just drink and have a good time. The Hideaway is going to be open for anybody to use. Maybe they bring in some other people or like some friends, like partied up, some locals or something like that. It's going to be a real party, right? No, come on. We're too far into this show now to expect something really cool like that to happen. Obviously not. We get games that 5th graders would have played at their birthday party. We pop the balloons on the other person and we try to figure out how to move the fruit from one thing to the other thing without actually touching it. And Caro comes out with the shocking revelation that she's good at this game because finally her bosoms are good for something and they were worth the money she paid for them. That's her quote, not mine. That's literally what she said. So she said, actually, that's not the real quote. She said, Kara said, finally, my boobs were a great investment for something in case you're ever in need to transfer fruit from one place to another without using your hands, evidently. So great. What did you guys say out here? I had to take care of one in 8th grade, Rebecca said. Yeah, and that was probably like a decent activity to go through for a bunch of 8th graders who are kind of learning what babies are, not like 25 and 27-year-olds who are trying to party on a reality show. Has anybody decided who they're going to vote for tomorrow, says Meg. Ooh, good, good, good. Rose says he's voting, for Ray and Caro as the least boring. Osayue says, why do I think Zach and Elizabeth are going to win the whole thing? Rebecca says, I'm voting for Elizabeth and Zach. I think it's obvious that they're going to win the whole thing. They're the only ones who have been together from the get-go, right? They're a strong couple. They obviously like each other beyond the reality show aspect of it, which I'm always super cynical of. I'm super cynical of couples meeting on a reality show. Them, I'm buying it. I think I'm in it for them. They seem genuine. I think they like each other. I think they're going to date outside of this house. Who else are we going to vote for to actually win from a couple? Part of the problem with this show is that with all the new people coming in, with all the recoupling and things like that, we don't have enough consistency. So, you know, you can make an argument for somebody like a Ray and Caro who seem really, really strong, but then you can look to somebody like, you know, Weston and Kelsey, who, or maybe Weston and Mallory, be that as it may, couples who seem to have a great connection right off the bat, just like Ray and Caro do, and they're saying the connection is amazing, and then in 1 week, new people come and they split up. I don't know how much I can buy it. I don't know how much I can trust it after a really short period of time. Zach and Elizabeth have been together for so long that it's like, well, I buy that. I can easily see them being the best couple in the end. Rose says, just because the show wants you to vote for the best couple doesn't mean you have to follow their instructions. That's devious. That's devious. Everybody play fair and play nice. Meg says, Alex and Dylan are quite similar as a couple. That's true. I'm on the same page as you with that, especially if they had been in from the get-go like Elizabeth and Zach. I think Elizabeth and Zach are edging them out just because of the fact they were there from the beginning. They're a goofier version, but they seem to really enjoy each other's company. I think they have a good shot. She's undecided. Osayue says, simply there's a story with Zach and Elizabeth. And exactly, that's basically what it comes down to. So guys, we get the silly party games. I guess they had a party. And then at the end of the episode, Kira talks to Weston about the whole blow-up thing and how the previous episode, you know, everybody was tag teaming in on Weston, making him feel bad, just like we discussed on this show. I think completely out of order. I think for no reason. I think he really got a bad rap that episode, and I think it really affected him. I was actually pretty much the best part of this episode was seeing that Weston was like, okay. And he was having fun with Emily and he didn't really seem affected. I was really happy about that because I like the guy and I think he's a decent guy and he's just playing the reality show game and they came down way too hard on him. So long story short, the two of them make up. Great. Weston said all their conversations go back to cash, and that was in direct response to, you know, But you like me, I like you, and it never worked out. I was like, well, if every time we talk and we hang out, the conversation goes back to Cash, you can understand, right? It makes a lot of sense to me. And they make up. I love you to death. I love you too. Okay, great. Osayo says, I hope Alex and Dylan don't win. Rose says, Weston is so slick defending himself. He's like a politician. See, that's really interesting. The rest of you guys watching right now, do you feel that too? I don't get the slimy, skeezy vibe from Weston. I just don't. I mean, I got you if you do. I understand, I guess. But I just think he got, I wouldn't even say got caught. I think he was just playing the game. It just kind of is what it is. He dated a bunch of people. He found a better connection. He doesn't seem so slick and slimy to me. He really doesn't. But if you think so, you could easily make the argument. I totally get it. They make up. Then we find out, of course, that tonight, which is Friday again, was the last night in the villa for one couple. I guess everybody is voting again. I'm not exactly sure what happened today. And that's really where we end it. And that's why I'm saying I was disappointed with this episode. I thought there was more substance in me taking a sip from my club soda right now than we had the entire episode. Jen, I was disappointed.
Yeah, you seem very disappointed. And I mean, I'm disappointed. I mean, really a baby game for this episode?
Come on.
They're in Fiji, for crying out loud.
They're in Fiji. They're young and single, and they're hooking up. Why are we going to pester them with these babies? Let them see them do some crazy competition or something. I don't know. Man. Whoever's, production, I feel bad. I feel like they're making an honest effort. Guys, tell me in the chat, is this baby thing something they do in the UK version every season? Or is this like some legacy something? Because this competition was just, to me, out of left field. Like, I don't care. That's not what I want to see. I want to see some drama or something. They're just screwing around with little dolls. Does it seem weird? The best part of the whole episode... Okay, I said was Weston looking good. The best part of this whole episode was actually the early look at today's episode when Cash comes back. Okay, so good on it. I actually love the show for doing this because we have Kira talk to all the girls at the end of the episode saying, you know what? I've been thinking about Cash every day since I let him go. I can't wait to get out of the house and just call him up and tell him that I love him and I want to pursue something outside of the house. I thought that was super genuine. I loved seeing it. And I thought, good. Fine. Like, this is real, genuine stuff. Or else why? You know it's genuine because she's got no benefit to her game whatsoever saying that. In fact, he literally hurts the game. This would be, I'm going to quit type moment. I still don't know what happened. I could see Cash coming back and talking to her and then her doing a Kelsey and saying, well, everything's done now because I found the guy I'm in love with. I guess I could see it. I would still advise against it. And not knowing the show well enough, or really her not knowing what the producers are going to do with this information, they let it play out for her really, really nice. Probably because they don't fly in the contestants back and Cash is like at the villa next door. Regardless, really, really nice of them to let him come back. It was really cute how they messed with her with the phone call and stuff like that. I really like that. But, she's sabotaging her own game because who's going to want to couple up with you when you know that she just wants to get to Cash? Because no one's going to vote for her to win now. It's impossible. So this is a real stand-up, honest move. Terrible gameplay move. And I thought really cool on the producers for letting it happen and letting us see a little bit more of what seems to be a legitimate love story unfold. Let me see what you guys are saying super quick. Rebecca agrees with Meg. This episode was a filler. Meg about Weston says, I think he falls for women easily and doesn't have a type. That could be true, yeah. Osayoe, I concur with the social media comment about Alex and Dylan. I lose brain cells when I listen to them talk. Yikes. Rose says, agree on Alex and Dylan. Rebecca says, the heart wants what it wants. Don't get demonetized. I can't sing. And Rose says, Cash and Kira have a lot in common. Both musical live close together. And Rose says, Kira and Jared have no chance. Yeah, if you're Jared at this point and you're trying to win the game, you're in dire straits. You got to find somebody new. And we don't even know, guys. It's only 3 more days for them, right? Because I'm talking about Friday's episode. So it's, 5. Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. What are the chances they bring in new people and you're going to make a connection that even matters and that, the voters are going to vote on? Very, very slim. He got the short end of the stick a little bit with his pairing, and especially the time he came into the house makes it really, really difficult. So, unfortunately for us, that's really it. That was the episode. It was all really a setup, just like you guys are saying, filler episode setup for what happens today. If somebody wants to put real quick in the comments, What happens today? Who goes home? Do we even know yet who goes home? Yeah, Meg, go ahead and do your spoilers for sure, because Meg is always good with the spoilers. She comes in really quick with what happens. So let us know what happened. As far as Jen, while we're doing spoilers, why don't you toss up the prediction music real quick?
Your AfterBuzz TV predictions.
My prediction is that Zach and Elizabeth are going to win. We already talked about it. I gave all the reasoning. Also, while Meg is putting her spoilers in the comments, anybody who disagrees, I'd love to hear your opinion on why they don't win. The only other people, okay, I'm looking at the couples right now while Meg is writing. I can see Alex and Dylan have a good connection, but they haven't been there as long as Elizabeth and Zach. So I think, again, Liz and Zach get the edge. Carol and Ray seem to have a really strong, legitimate connection. But again, not as long as Elizabeth and Zach, and therefore I'm not sure if we have the wherewithal or the time, or just like I think Rose said, the story behind them, or Asayue, I'm sorry whoever said it, but the story behind them to love them, fall in love with them, and vote for them. Emily and Weston have no shot. I think everybody is even though I like him and I don't think he should get so much flack, I think probably the voting people at large are not going to give it to Weston. We already saw him in the lower half, the lower two. And then, of course, Kira and Jared, we say, have no chance. And Meg, with the spoilers, today, Kira goes home with Jared, but Cash video called and said he still likes Kira. Then he shows up in person and they kiss. Got it. So that's what happens. So she goes home, and that's how they were playing it. So the call was after she was already going home. Totally gets it. So finals is Weston and Emily. I don't think they have a shot. Zach and Elizabeth, I think, are a shoo-in to win. Alex and Dylan, Ray and Carol. You can make a case for those last two couples, but I just don't think we have the history. I don't think we have the intrigue, the story to fall in love with them and want them to win and succeed. They will do final dates, and we choose our favorites tomorrow night. Super duper excited. Awesome, guys. Thank you so much, as always, Meg, for dropping us with the knowledge and getting us up to speed. I'm excited to see how that goes down. Thank you so much to everybody in the chat. Guys, we appreciate every single one of you in here. Osayue, Ro, Meg, Rebecca was in here before. Who else is in here? Really quick, Mike, go, go, go. Rebecca, Osayue, Obsessed Fangirls, Amy, everybody in here every single day. Of course, you're watching me on YouTube. Go ahead and subscribe. Give me a thumbs up. 5-star reviews on iTunes, guys. My name is Mike Thieling. You can find me everywhere at Mike Thieling. I'm going to be back here tomorrow talking more Love Island with you. We are going to see this thing through to the end. It's going to get better. I promise. See ya.
Our founder, Kevin Undergaro, and me, Maria Menounos, would like to thank you for tuning in to AfterBuzz TV. Remember, we're not just the first, we're the biggest in the world, and we're the only destination for all your favorite TV shows. Whatever you crave, we've got it. So go to AfterBuzzTV.com and check out our lineup. Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.